Well, let's do a fucking video, shall we? Today's video, we are going to rank the Leatherface actors from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. A couple reasons why I've decided to do this video is that I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's one of my absolute favorite franchises. You see the memes on Facebook and other places about, Mount Slashmore, who would you put on the mountain? For me, it's always, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and then the fourth one is up for debate for a lot of people. For me, it's really not up for debate. It's clearly Leatherface. He would definitely be number 4, and I don't think that he gets enough credit or gets talked about nearly enough. Another reason is because of the release of the new video game and all the excitement surrounding that. What do you guys think of the game? Do you play? Do you play Victim? Do you play Family? Who do you main? What do you think of the game? I think it's a really good game, and I think that it is a very good premise for a movie, actually, especially with the Johnny character. Could do a lot of things with that. A Ted Bundy type of character using his looks and charms to lure unsuspecting women to their death. I think that they should use a lot of the ideas. If they're going to make a movie in the future, I would use a lot of the ideas that have been used in that game for a movie. I think it would be really, really good. But me, when I play as when I play as Victim, I tend to play as Julie. I just really like her perks and, the dump truck, obviously. And when I play as Family, I tend to play as Johnny for the reasons I already went into. I think he's a really interesting, compelling character that they should use in a movie in the future. Anyway, let's move on to the ranking itself. This is a ranking of the actors that have played Leatherface. We have 9 movies. Coming in at number 9, Robert Jacks in Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. I don't really think that I need to explain too much about this. The guy is horrible. He makes this high-pitched, squealing bird noise when he's going after people. He sounds like the fucking teacher, Mrs. Fowl from Jimmy Neutron. I mean, the guy's just horrible. Can't get into it. The looks, I don't really particularly like any of the looks. I will give them credit for trying to do what the original movie did in having 3 separate looks for Leatherface. I will give credit for that. That's one of the only other movies besides the original that has a killing mask look, an old lady look, and a pretty woman look. And really, none of the looks look any good, in addition to his portrayal that I don't like. The killing mask just looks like a piece of lunch meat on his face. The old lady look is nothing special, and the fucking pretty woman look is just too much with the gown and the fake boobs, and the black gown and the fake boobs and the full on cross dresser. And there's a little bit of that in the first movie, but with the gown, they just fucking dialed that shit up to 11, and I don't like it. It's not one of my favorite movies in the series. This ranking would not completely mirror my movie rankings, and I'll explain more as I go along. But yeah, that's definitely my least favorite Leatherface. My second, number 8, my second least favorite Leatherface is the Leatherface from Leatherface 2017. Now, I don't really enjoy this movie. That always factors in. But who Leatherface is doesn't really make any sense to me. How this guy with problems, but a relatively normal guy, well spoken, articulate, this little tiny skinny guy, that's pretty normal, becomes what we see in the original movie. It's a prequel to the original movie, and it makes absolutely no sense that skinny little guy would with no seeming mental handicaps or anything like that would become what we saw in the first movie. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So that is my number 8. My number 7 is the Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw 3D that came out in 2013. This Leatherface is just boring to me, bland, and he looks like absolute shit. He's also not in a good movie, but what I really don't like about him is the mask. It looks like Jim Carrey in the fucking in the Cable Guy with the chicken skin on his face doing the "Hello, Clarice." It just looks like absolute shit, and so that's my number 7. Okay, number 6 is the Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw 2022. Now, the movie itself, there's things I like about it, there's things I don't like about it, but the thing that I don't like about the Leatherface is that, I mean, the mask is all right. It's not great. It's not one of the better ones. But the issue that I have with this movie is that Leatherface, as we've known him, he's a man. He's not superhuman. They have him. He's like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees in this movie. Like the scene where he's, breaking the guy's arm in the police van with a flick of a wrist. I just don't like that. It doesn't fit with what the lore of what we know Leatherface to be. So that's my number 6. Number 5 is Bob Elmore from Texas Chainsaw 2 1986. And I do say Bob Elmore because if you don't know, kind of a Warrington Gillette Steve Dash situation with that. Bob did about 90% of the work on that film, and Bill probably did 10% or less. One of my favorite movies, one of my least favorite Leatherfaces, because he's just not scary. He's not. He's kind of a guest in his own movie, much like the Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw, The Next Generation, where Matthew McConaughey stole the show. Vilmer. Texas Chainsaw 2 is kind of Chop Top's movie. I mean, there are some scenes in the movie, like the bridge scene with the 2 yuppies killing that when he's wearing the Nubbins costume. I think that's one of the most iconic Leatherface moments in the franchise. But overall, this Leatherface just isn't scary, and I have him at number 5. Excuse me. Number 4 is Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Now, a lot of people don't like this movie. I actually like the movie quite a bit. I'm a vehement defender of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, but we're just talking about the Leatherface. I think he's big, he's scary, he's intimidating, he's mean. I think he's scary as fuck. So, sorry, Mihailoff. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 is my number 4. My number 3 is the Andrew Bryniarski Leatherface from the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Fantastic movie. The movie that really kicked off the 2000s remake craze. The 2 Andrew Bryniarski portrayals in this series are very, very close for me. I just feel like that because they're so similar, the brutality, the intimidation, the size, all that, the scariness, just the gore and the great kills and everything. The two Andrew Bryniarski portrayals are very, very close together for me, but this one, I feel like the overall look and aesthetic and the mask aren't quite as good as they are in the prequel. So obviously my number two is the Andrew Bryniarski portrayal in Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. Very much the same Leatherface from the remake, only you get a little more of a backstory. You get two looks. You get the leather half mask, which just looks badass, and you get like more of a range of human emotions, and you can see when this guy's just building up and he's about to snap, and it looks fucking great. Arguably, that mask is scarier than the main mask. The fucking I forget the boyfriend's name, but when he makes the mask in that movie out of the girl's boyfriend, she's underneath the table when he's killing her and killing him and skinning his face. That mask looks absolutely incredible. Arguably the best mask in the entire Eric. That's his name, the Eric mask. Arguably the best mask in the entire franchise. Way better than the Kemper mask in the remake. I forgot to mention the remake Kemper mask. And obviously, that just leaves the Gunnar Hansen original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's just something so visceral and brutal and gritty about that entire movie and that performance. And all three personalities of Leatherface are just absolutely terrifying, and they're so different. And you can tell that this is a person with multiple personality disorder and schizophrenic and all that kind of shit. You see all three personalities, like the killing mask, the old woman mask, and my favorite from that movie, the pretty woman mask. Probably my favorite in the entire series. The atmosphere and the way the film is shot and the way it looks because of the film it was shot on. There's just something so nasty and disgusting about that movie that I just love, and it'll never be replicated or topped. So the Gunnar Hansen Leatherface is my favorite Leatherface. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you for the next one.